hello, and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, the basketball edition. I hope you get to see this video sometime soon. I just put up a video that was in YouTube jail for like 3 hours. I just managed to be able to get it up. This was after a chat with YouTube and really no explanation as to why they weren't putting it up. I said, maybe, just maybe we being a little bit too hard on Miss Kathy Engelbert. And maybe she got a little in with YouTube. I don't know. I just know, I hope this time we're not waiting hours. They said it could be up to 2 days. Really? Anyway, glad it's up now. Make sure you check that video out. Now, to what I want to talk about. Cheryl Reeve, who, by the way, I just realized who she reminds me of. Liz Cheney. Kind of looks like Liz Cheney. I don't know. Anyway, Cheryl Reeve. Those of us who are fans of Caitlin Clark, we, got an issue with Cheryl Reeve. The I don't give two SHIT, the Olympic team snub, there is more than one team and more than one player and all that stuff. Yeah, she didn't get started. She just didn't get us in her fan club. That's for sure. And so it was kind of interesting to find myself rooting for the Minnesota Lynx against the New York Liberty. But as I explained before, I really like Nafisa Collier. And I guess Reeve kind of came around. And listen, if for nothing else, remember her snub, even though she said she didn't make the Olympic decision, we know the coaches consulted. That snub is what woke up the monster. So thank you, because the second half of the season was off the hook. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever did their thing, so we got to say thank you. But no, seriously, I wasn't rooting for Minnesota because of her. I was rooting in spite of her. But I got to say that her comments after Game 5 against the Liberty really stand out to me. And I'm going to explain why. But first, I want to show you some of what she had to say.
I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which we, it's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because that decided the game.
I just want to stop here and say, I don't even think there was minimal contact. I saw a whole lot of hand on the ball. And by that, I mean, that's all I saw. There wasn't any contact. Like she said, minimal contact, if that. But I also want to point out, she's obviously upset. This is a person who's not only been an Olympic coach, but she has won 4 championships. She understands the winner's mentality. Whatever we want to think about her, she's a good coach. And the way the game came down, you're seeing the public reaction to this. And we're on the outside looking in. So imagine what she's feeling, imagine what her team is feeling. But considering all that, her comments just now were relatively calm. I mean, she was relatively able to express herself, and she didn't blow a gasket. But now, in this part, she's about to turn it up a notch. Check it out.
I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on, because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
Yeah, I heard that, right? That's what I wanted to point out. That's where she turned it up a notch. Okay. Bring it on, bring it on. I gotta say it. I have to say kudos to Cheryl Reeve. I don't know. I know in the NBA you don't really get to speak your mind like that, and I'm sure in the WNBA as well. I don't know if she's going to get fined or not. I don't know how much they get fined. I don't know. What I do know is that she let us know right there, I don't care. I know you guys are gonna run your mouth and people are gonna go, "Oh, you're whining and you're complaining." And she's like, "You know what? I can handle it." Why? Because all you gotta do is all you gotta do is press the button and play it back, and you can see that that was not a foul. You could see that that play, which decided the game, was not a foul. And so she said, "Bring it on." And you know what? If you want to foul me, if you want to punish me for calling it like it is, then you just gonna have to do it because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And like she said, that was stolen. That wasn't like saying, man, they missed a big call. No, she already laid out for us that they reviewed it, they saw it. So there's no excuse for it. So the only other thing you can come up with is that was stolen straight up. And she's willing to say it. And I have respect for that. And it made me think about Christie Sides, the current and likely not future coach of the Indiana Fever. What Cheryl Reeve is doing there, yeah, she's speaking up for herself. But even as she said in that press conference, I don't remember if it was in that what I just showed you, but she does in the press conference, she talks about how she feels. She listen, the feast is getting jacked up down there too. And I feel sorry for them. This is disappointing. This was later on in the interview. This is disappointing. This one hurts. I feel bad for them. So it's not just her she's speaking up for. A coach, and I can speak from experience, and as a teacher, I can speak from experience. You care about those people who are to a certain extent entrusted to you, who are you're doing life with, you're helping them develop, you're in the battle together, so to speak. And she's willing to go to bat. Christie Sides, when I think of her, I see someone who just didn't seem to have it in her to do the same thing. Now, in the season earlier, she got upset because Caitlin getting the technicals, etc. And she's telling them, you guys need to cut it out. I should get the technicals. And the rest of us are like, yeah, you should. Your players getting clobbered and you're not even showing any feistiness. You're hardly challenging anything, etc. Yeah, you should, but you're not, right? And then the next game, she went out, she got a technical. And she got a technical also in the playoffs, I believe. She had two technicals, as I recall, that season. But there were plenty of opportunities. I'm not talking about going in and throwing stuff. What you think? We the Chicago Sky? We're not talking about tearing up stuff, but we are talking about showing your team that you have their back. That has a way of firing them up, and it certainly gains their respect and their trust. And so Cheryl Reeve sat right there with Kayla McBride and Nafisa Collier, and she called it what it is. It was stolen from us. I'm not going to pretend it's not. And I know we want to be professional. But there's a way to be professional, and I'm saying this in relation to Christie Sides. There's a way to be professional and still make it clear you know what's going on, you don't like what's going on, you're going to call out what's going on, and you're definitely going to stand up for your players. You don't have to be a you know what, you can fill in the blank to do it, but it needs to be done. And so I totally would high five Cheryl Reeve for being willing to do that. And I wish that Christie Sides had done more of that for this team. And whoever comes in and coaches is got to be somebody who's going to stand up. And I've said the same thing about Caitlin. I love how professional she is. I love how media savvy she is. And in my interview with Livewire Sports, Martin from Livewire Sports, I said, do you ever wish that she would kind of get a little bit, what I meant by that is not being like some of these other people out there in their interviews, but being willing to sometimes put that pressure on and saying, yeah, she knocked me down. It was on purpose, something like that. But yeah, let them know that you know what's up. And Cheryl Reeve didn't go in all wild or anything like that, but she let it be known. I see what's going on. I smell what you're stepping in, and I don't like it. So if you guys want to call me a whiner, bring it on. But I'm going to say what I say. You can let me know what you think in the comments about this, how you would handle this. Do you think that Reeve was out of line? Do you think that she was right? I know some of you have weighed in on it. Not everyone agrees with the whole thing, but I think she said the right thing, and I think she was rather calm. Honestly, everybody's like, she blasted them. Well, she could have really given them a lot more than she did, but she made it known, and I applaud her for that, for real, for the sake of her players. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Always appreciate it if you hit like as well. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.